Hi everybody, welcome back to Tuesdays with Tuesday. I'm Tuesday and I write fantasy under the name Mary E. Twomey. Oh my gosh. So today we're going to read the next chapter in my book, Savage Hearts, which is book 1 in the series, Savage Hearts. That is a 5-book series, but we're just going to read book 1 together, and then if you like it, you can go off and read the rest of the series on your own. It's available in paperback and ebook right now, pretty much anywhere. And I want to say that at least as of this recording, the ebook is free, so you can download it and read along with me, or you can just let me read to you, and we can just have a nice little silly old time. So this is chapter 15, and as always, if you have not listened to the first 14 chapters, this will make no sense to you. So proceed with caution. Might want to start with chapter 1. Santos, as we know, does not communicate with audible words. He communicates with sign language. So when in the book he is speaking sign, it is italicized so that the reader knows this is spoken in sign. But you can't see any italics right now, so I'm just going to go like that so that you know that he's speaking in sign. If there's any sign in this chapter, I don't know. I'm just going to be surprised just like you. So, chapter 15, Erased with Ease, Adelita. Santos returns before we can get into a big argument about it all. He's got takeout and a bag from a store I noticed on the strip behind the motel. There's a terse edge to his jaw, but his shoulders are relaxed, and he doesn't look palpably upset anymore. "Did you get me something pretty?" Raphael teases, poking inside the bag curiously. Santos shoves him away and sets the bag on the bed that's not occupied by Cruz's things. He points to me. Then he signs while Raphael translates. "Clean clothes for you. If I got the wrong size, I'll get you something else." When you live alone and you have no family, it's the little things that stick into your skin, like loneliness. Aside from the clothes I'm currently wearing, no one's bought me clothes in a couple years. Not new socks, not a corny t-shirt from a vacation, nothing. If I need something, I go buy it myself, or I make it, like I did my cardigan, which is now who knows where, bloodied and torn. I know it's not a gift. This is a necessity, this bag of clothes. But I let myself believe it's a present just for me, for no reason other than to make my life a little bit brighter. Thank you. I'm sure they'll fit great. "You look like a therapist when you do that," Raphael comments. My nose crinkles at his assessment. "And what does a therapist look like?" Rafi motions to my face. "Like you're taking the clothes and parsing them for subtext." I frown at him. Well, subtext is like half my job. Raphael moves to stand in front of me, bobbing on the balls of his feet like a little boy in line for ice cream. "Do me!" "Pardon me?" "Shrink my head, size me up, give me your professional evaluation, Doc." I chuckle at his enthusiasm. First off, I have my master's, not my doctorate. Second, I'm sure you don't want that. I'm not in the habit of giving evaluations in front of other people, and certainly not outside the office. Well, I try not to do that aloud, at least. Raphael shields me from the bag of takeout. "Please, I've never been to therapy before." I snort. I'm utterly shocked to hear that. When it's clear Raphael won't relent, I sigh. "All right, but I could be wrong. Understand that, all right? It's just my at-a-glance opinion. And a flash diagnosis is nothing like treatment. So this does nothing, except perhaps add some self-awareness into the mix. What you do with it is on you." If Raphael were a dog, his tail would be wagging. "Lay it on me." I can't help my grin. I miss working. I rely on a very old and trusted system called the Enneagram. It uses 7 numbers to sum up a person's motives. Raphael, you are a 7 on the Enneagram. "That's good, right? It sounds like it's the best one." He grins at his brothers. "See, I'm already winning." "You can't win the Enneagram. One number isn't better than the other. Tell that to the other non-7s. "You are ridiculous." "Ridiculous times 7? His eyebrows dance. I motion to his form. 7s are called enthusiasts. They're fun-loving, are often scattered, and lack lasting focus. They're spontaneous and are willing to try anything once, so they end up being quite versatile. Raphael balks at me. Well, that's spot on. He covers his chest as if he's shielding his breasts from view. I'm scandalized that you've summed me up so shamelessly. I feel naked now. Which is why I only do private therapy sessions. Just like that, Raphael's pointing to Cruz. Do Cruz! Do Cruz! 8, I say, without flair or the ability to hold back. There is no question about that. Within the first 5 minutes, his 8-ness made itself known. Ha! Cruz says, jutting out his chin in Rafi's direction. 8 is better than 7. I'm winning. It's not. There's no winning in the Enneagram, I repeat, but it falls on deaf ears. Cruz, you're what is called the challenger. You're powerful, dominating, and confrontational. You're willful to a fault. When you're healthy, you can be all those things as well as considerate of other people. When you're not healthy, you're... I motion to his form. Raphael finishes my thought. An ass? When I don't respond, Raphael waves his hand in the air dismissively. You don't have to agree out loud. Keep your heart beating if I'm right. I tilt my head at his antics. Santos shirks back when Raphael's attention falls on him. Of course he does. I lower my voice. Santos, you're a 5 on the Enneagram. You're what's referred to as the investigator. You're intense, cerebral, and perceptive. You're also secretive, and you seek isolation rather than belonging. The room falls silent. I have done it again. This life of the party brings the levity to a crashing halt with her work talk. Santos finally signs and mouths, What are you? I'm a 6, but they don't need that information. I'm a therapist. It doesn't matter what I am. My patients matter. Raphael casts me a skeptical, while Santos stares at me as if he's trying to see right through to my very soul. Santos sets the takeout bag on the uneven table and motions for me to grab some food. When Raphael reaches inside, he smacks Rafi's hand away and indicates that I should choose something first. My eyes dart to Cruz, who raises his hands to indicate this is what he was talking about. Thanks, Santos. Did you already eat? I fish out 2 tacos from the stack of probably 30. Santos shakes his head and offers the bag to Cruz next. It's deliberate, this shift in hierarchy. After Raphael's taken what he wants, finally Santos grabs a few for himself. It's the same in the way the seating arrangement works. There are 2 chairs at the rickety table, and Santos doesn't even consider taking one. He kicks off his boots and sits sideways on the table, leaning his back on the wall that the queen frame has been pushed up against. I hand out the gas station hot chocolates, which are at the perfect drinking temperature now. I munch on my taco while waiting for the obligatory moans of satisfaction I know are coming. Raphael does not disappoint. Whoa, that's the best drink I've had in a long time. What did you do to this? I shrug, smirking at my prowess. Nothing too crazy. I'm glad you like it. Cruz sips his and then takes a long drink, which I think is a compliment. I hold mine, waiting for Santos's reaction. He eyes the tall paper cup warily, and I could see the debate plain on his face. It's a big leap, this drink. The fact that he's never had sugar before is something I love that I can be a part of. I get to be a mile marker in his journey. Santos, are you all right? I ask quietly as I sit on the bed across from his. I shouldn't have said your Enneagram number in front of the guys. But he waves off my concern and mouths, I don't care about that. It's the cup his eyes are focused on. He casts me a worried look before sniffing the cup. He studies Cruz and Raphael for signs of... I'm not sure exactly. He's very worried about the whole thing, and I realize maybe I've pushed him a little too far. I stand, putting my foot on the nightstand so I can lean toward him. Never mind, you don't have to drink that. I can see it's upsetting you. I shouldn't have asked you to do something you clearly don't want to do. I'm sorry. But before I can arrest the cup from his hand, he tips it to his lips, obstinate that I not take it away. Raphael cusses in astonishment while Cruz pauses his taco halfway to his mouth. Both men gawk at the strange sight as Santos imbibes his very first mouthful of sugar. Did you really just do that? Raphael spouts with wide eyes. What do you think? I asked, still standing in the space between the 2 beds. Did you like it? Santos takes another drink before he smiles up at me. Then, as if there's liquid courage in the cup, he jerks his chin to the space on the bed next to him with a confidence that didn't exist 10 seconds previously. His smile leaps onto my face. Maybe it's a small thing, to be the person who introduces Santos to sugar. But in my heart, I label it as a true moment to take him up on his offer to sit with him. In therapy, this might even be considered a breakthrough, saying farewell to tenets of your old life you thought you'd always adhered to, and trading them in for new rules that you craft yourself. I eat alone, semi-alone at least, nearly every day. The 3 other therapists in the building take different lunch hours. Tomas took his lunch hour with me, but he was usually called away before I could polish off half my meal. Alone for breakfast, many lunches, and dinner. I'm so happy to be invited in that I have to remind myself not to cuddle into Santos's side. He looks adorable, sipping the hot chocolate with a curious smile, teasing his lips. Cruz and Raphael talk about the Calcu's possible next move, but Raphael's eye catches on us when Santos touches the outside of his foot to mine after I climb atop the mattress. I sit sideways on the bed next to him and munch on my taco. It's so innocent, so sweet. I love the small bits of contact he offers me and how easily it all comes. We're not doing anything risque, but it feels intimate, his littlest toe against mine through the shield of our socks. If this is how I finally find myself a friend to eat meals with, I'll take it. Santos casts me a furtive smile between bites, showing off just how handsome he is. His skin is a darker brown than mine, and I love the way it plays off the curve of his pinkish lips. His black hair swishes along his jawline, showing off his boyish waves that are just long enough to sway when he turns his head too fast, but not long enough to be scraggly. He's all muscle, thick-chested with a lean waist. I don't often get to be this near men of his hotness caliber, and it's making me a klutz with my dinner. I spill a few bits of lettuce on the comforter, but manage not to make too big a fool of myself while I finish my meal. Eating a taco one-handed is hard. On my last bite, I escape to the shower with my clean clothes, worried I'll say something stupid to Santos. It's easier to hide out under the warm spray, so I do my best to enjoy the reprieve from his covert smiles and bashful gestures. It's hard to dress myself after I dry off, but I don't think I can stand Santos helping me figure out my clothes again. The sizes aren't too off, and my arm is a little more flexible than it was this morning. I only wince a little when I thread my injured arm through. The guys don't believe in pajamas, apparently, because Santos got me jeans and a new black t-shirt to wear to bed, which matches the guys. When I trade places with Santos, he gives off this impish vibe that I'm wearing the clothes he picked out. Luckily, he shuts himself in the bathroom before I say anything too stupid. Cruz takes his phone from his pocket and hands it to me. It's time. Call whoever might come looking for you and tell them you've moved. You can give a fake forwarding address if you need. My mouth falls open in stunned silence before I assemble a few words. What are you talking about? I'm only on this trip with you guys until the Calcu stop looking for me. I'm not going to erase myself from life. And when do you think it might be that the Calcu accept defeat? They're not a small band of thieves, Adelita. They're ruthless, and they won't stop until they have you. You can't go back. Not soon, not ever. We just went over this. My food sits like a brick in my stomach. I'm not defenseless, you know. I can fight back if they come for me. I've seen that, yes. But those were a handful of soldiers. They have more, and you're untrained. If you go back to your life, everyone you love will be in danger. Is that what you want? It's then I realized that I don't have anyone I love in my life. Not really. My love stopped when my mama died. Though I suppose I don't want anything bad to happen to Tomas or the rest of my colleagues and patients. I care for their well-being, but it's not the same as love. As a 6 on the Enneagram, it's no wonder why I've felt adrift. I've had no one to share reliance with, no one to lean on. It's a long bout of back and forth, ending with Cruz pressing his burner phone into my palm so I can make arrangements to shut my life down. My apartment and everything in it is considered lost. My heart sinks at strangers selling off my things for pocket change. Nothing I have is all that valuable, but it's mine, and I don't want to give everything up. When Raphael suggests hiring movers and storing my things in a storage unit, that soothes my aching heart a little. There are pictures of my mama that I don't want thrown away. Maybe I won't be able to see them for a while, but knowing that they're there still helps me, helps me breathe through the process of shutting my entire life down. My car, my apartment, and my job are all lifted from my hands in the span of 5 minutes. The guys have done this before, utterly deleted someone. It's all done effortlessly, taking me through the steps of closing out accounts, bowing out of my lease, and sending out movers to deal with the rest. I am erased with embarrassing ease. Raphael's at least considerate of the fact that this is hard and awful, but Cruz is emotionless, pushing me to the next task and the next, until no one will care that I've utterly vanished because it's all done so seamlessly. But I care. My whole being feels weighted with despair while Cruz calls his uncle with updates. I take the unoccupied bed and tuck myself under the covers so I can pretend I'm asleep. The guys give me my ruse, moving about the room quietly as they close out their night. Santos emerges from the bathroom in a cloud of steam, his face falling when he sees that the sugar-laced mood has died in his absence. "Erased her," Cruz explains, punching a hole in my chest with his callous words. "Barely took any time at all." Maybe that was supposed to be a good thing, but it sizzles on my skin like a burn that eats away at my optimism. Raphael's voice is quieter. "Yeah, it only took like 5 minutes this time. She's a loner. No one will come looking for her, so we're in the clear to keep going." Cruz makes a few grunting noises while he stretches. "Keep an eye on her tonight, will you? I'm turning in." "Me too. Good night, Viento." And I realize then that Rafi's nickname for me is spot on. I do feel like the wind, cold and see-through, haphazard and directionless. I can tell Cruz is trying to do me a solid, telling Santos to watch me, but I couldn't want anything less. I don't want Santos to know I have no deep friendships. I don't want him to see me break down in a ball of regret. 2 years slipped by without making a single lasting connection. If I was a patient of mine, I would label myself as depressed and on the verge of reaching an unhealthy level of antisocial tendencies. I was supposed to get my degree, start my job, and provide a better life for Mama. When she left too early, I forgot to make a new plan. My life, lived cautiously, turned out to be no life at all. That brings us to the end of chapter 15. Thank you for reading with me. Chapter 15 of Savage Hearts. If you want to read ahead, you can get the ebook for free, or get the paperback if you enjoy reading that. And until next time, I hope you have a really great night, and I hope that you feel loved and that you know that your life is